Hello, superhumans. Psychic phenomena is inherent in all of us. And Christina and I invite you to watch this video with an open mind and heart and feel your body. Does it feel light or does it feel tight? If it feels light, the message resonates with you. And if it does, we hope that you'll watch more of our associated remote views. So if you would, please hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another upload and start your journey on igniting the superhuman in you. Let's get into it. Hello, superhumans. I'm Sally,
I'm Christina.
and we're doing associated remote viewing on Atlantis Found 2026. And there's a lot of news going on out there. We'll leave a link in the description box below. But apparently, there is an anomaly below the Atlantic Ocean, which the same type of technology used to find the cylinders below the Great Pyramid at the Giza Plateau is also saying there's a massive structure. And what they say, 12 miles
Yeah.
in depth below the Atlantic Ocean. We're going to do associated remote view of that, talk about some other possibilities, and when potentially did Atlantis sink beneath the waves. So here we go. And while we're doing it, we're actually going to do it. I've already remote viewed it. Christina's coming in sort of cold with this. I'm going to have her feel it out. This is what we do. We also invite you, the viewer, to also listen to the story and feel your body. Remember, your body will never lie to you. So if your body feels tight, the answer is likely no. If your body feels light, then the answer is probably yes. You can get yourself confused if you have a vested interest in the outcome of the answer. So you will have to take several deep breaths and put yourself in a place of neutrality for it to work properly. But that is your first step into associated remote view. Now, there's a lot more that goes into it, but that is your first step, and you can participate in the process. Did I leave anything out, Christina?
Nope. We're good.
Okay. So the first question on the Benny Johnson show, he talked about that anomaly below I think it was in the Bermuda Triangle,
Mhm.
that's 12 miles. Can
Yeah.
you take a look at that right now, sort of feel it out, and tell us what are you getting intuitively for that structure?
Well, I'm not getting like a structure per se. I feel like it's more of a natural formation.
When I associated
Yeah.
remote view, I got that it was an inactive volcano. That's what sort of came to me. But I don't know if it's fully inactive. I feel like, I don't know. There is something to it, but I can't put my finger on it.
See,
But I don't get it's man-made at all. And
no, it's
well, not that the continent of Atlantis would be man-made, but I'm not getting that anomaly that they're looking at is Atlantis related. I guess
right,
it's not, I don't have it associated with that.
right.
Although the continent of Atlantis could have volcanoes on it.
Sure. I mean, it could have, but I just that just doesn't jive for me. Um, it just doesn't fit. I feel like it's more of a natural formation, and I would have to agree. I'll bet you it's a volcano that's not completely dormant. I mean, heck, think about Mount Vesuvius. I mean, we're still waiting for the big one from that one, so
Right, right. Or Krakatoa, there's
right,
that one that, put us in a minor ice age at one point.
right,
All right. So, yeah, I mean, it would be cool. I mean, it would be cool. Oh, yeah, we found, structures beneath the Bermuda Triangle, and that answers why, there's all these anomalies going on in the triangle.
right.
It does feel sort of when I look into the Bermuda Triangle, maybe we'll do a remote view just specifically on the Bermuda Triangle. Maybe you'll do that next. but I do feel that there's like large pockets of methane gas that sort of bubble up, and it feels like that has something to do with some disappearances. Not always, but there is something. That's what I keep feeling is this bubbling up
Okay.
methane gas. It's interesting. So, all right, but we don't want to leave the viewer wondering where is Atlantis because I did remote view some of the top 5 picks. Yeah. So one of the places that I looked at was off the coast of southern Spain and Cadiz. So it's just outside the Pillars of Hercules. And I do feel that there are structures. And when I say that, I almost feel there is either a town or a city that was sitting on Atlantis. I think it's almost, how we had maybe what, Pangea at one point, and
Mhm.
then you have the splitting of the continents. It has kind of that feel. And we're going to get into some of what I think's going on here. Um, but I feel like there are structures or like a city that is either the city of Atlantis or a city on the continent of Atlantis
Mhm.
off the coast of Cadiz, Spain.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about this before in one of our other, um, shows. We've talked about this a little bit about
Yeah.
that particular area and how we did feel like it was part of what would have been called Atlantis.
Yes, because it feels like there's the continent and then there's the one main city.
Right.
It's capital, if you will.
Yeah.
So, oh, so anyway, that's still coming in that way.
Yeah.
All
Absolutely it is.
right. Now, I looked at one of the claims on the top 5 picks is that they believe that Santorini, also known as there on Crete, part of the old Minoan Empire, is
Mhm.
also part of Atlantis. And I'll just tell you right now, I got a no on it.
Yeah, as I'm sitting with it right now, I also have pretty big no swinging. So,
Yeah, but I'm thinking, but what about Akrotiri? And then I got a massive hit. I feel like Akrotiri was part of the Atlantis continent.
mhm. Yeah, I feel that as well, that Akrotiri was part of that continent. I mean, that's just anytime we talk about Atlantis, I just always think about Dolores Cannon, and I think it's part of Convoluted Universe Book 1, and she talks about how people were talking about Atlantis and the information that she was getting and how according to her sources we were never going to be able to really put everything together correctly, and that was intentional.
Dang it, I want to put it together.
Right. I do too, but
I think we need to try. And if we
yeah,
can choose different timelines, we're jumping on that timeline where we get all the answers.
there you go. Yes.
I touch base on that at the end of this because I do have something on that one. I actually do. All right, let's move on to the Azore Islands, the plateau in the Atlantic Ocean. Azores, were they part of the continent of Atlantis?
Yes, they were part of the continent of Atlantis.
Yay, I got it too.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. And then there is the Eye of the Sahara in Western Africa. And a lot of people are claiming because of the rings that it is associated with the city of Atlantis. And I got a massive no on that one. I
I'm
feel like it's a natural formation that sort of got bubbled up in primordial earth is sort of what's coming to me. It
yeah,
just sort of, it was really thick and it just kind of stayed.
yeah. I'm in total agreement on a big no. Big no.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently it's hard to get to even do any excavation. All right, this is probably going to make a lot of people sad. I'm sorry, but I do have an interesting find. All right, Antarctica. Is it part of Atlantis?
No.
I know, that's what I got. I thought, well, this is going to disappoint people. But guess what came in? So as I'm sitting with it, and you know when you're doing the associated remote view, how you'll get the download of information usually comes in pretty quickly, and sometimes you get a lot of visuals in your mind. Sometimes you get a lot of visuals, just like right out here. I tend to do that. I'm going to go with it, test this out. I got Archon energy, living energy that's living beneath the ice sheets, that there are structures in Antarctica.
Yeah.
And it's Archon energy, which is not nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to expand on that?
I don't know that I can offer a whole lot. I'm not as familiar with Archon, so
How does the energy feel to you? Is it living?
Mhm.
Is it in service to self or service to others?
It's in service to self.
Big time. And does it contribute to the negative energy that
Yes.
people
Yes.
are tuned into?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the big one. So if anybody's having negative emotions or feelings, block it, because that is food for this thing. We need to starve it in mass. The thing that I got toward the end, Atlantis. Just let me know how this sits with you.
Okay.
Um, I got Atlantis. Part of the reason why it sunk beneath the waves is that I kept hearing, because I'm clairaudient too, is I kept hearing younger Dryas, younger Dryas, younger Dryas. So that tells me that due to the melting of the ice sheets, it created a destabilization, and I felt like it's kind of like, you know how if you watch California next and they get like big rains, and then suddenly the some of it slips down into the ocean because it's like porous and stuff. What seems really hard and you can build on becomes suddenly very porous. There feels like there's a lot of volcanic activity that sort of shakes things loose, and it feels like slow, slow destabilization, and then suddenly, boom. And I know kind of the big want is that Atlantis had this kind of crystal and they took it the wrong direction and they destroyed themselves. I honestly didn't get that. It felt more natural event. Um, Not to say they didn't have crystals, because I do see that. Um,
Mhm.
and I do feel that there were probably some people that weren't very nice and using it for misused it. I'm not saying that that didn't happen. I think
Right.
it was there, and I could see why people could kind of see and blend it together. And
Mhm.
who knows, maybe in some way it did do something. But I feel like it started through a natural event, through the melting of the ice sheets. That's what
Mhm.
sort of came into me. Um, and then what's really interesting that I kept seeing over and over again is that the Atlanteans, actually, they went everywhere. So when you say, who are the Atlanteans, you just need to look at your neighbor.
Yeah.
The Mayans, the Incas, they were all resettled Atlanteans. The Egyptians, all, even the pre-dynastic Egyptians were, the Atlanteans people. And I think over time, and just, bad people doing what bad people do, squash the information, don't let it get out. People stifle to grow. That's sort of what came in, and it came in big. Other thing that came in is that we're going to know where Atlantis was within the next 5 years.
Cool.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Wow, next 5 years, that'll be something.
Well, let's tune in. What do you get? Let's ask the question. Will the continent of Atlantis be finally understood within the next 5 years publicly?
Yep.
I love it. And this is why I like to get up every day, so explore all these mysteries and woo.
Oh, yeah.
Anything to sum up, to wrap it up?
Nope. I would just say, if you're curious, try it yourself, see what you get.
Absolutely. And I say, if you are struggling with it, do some energy healing. And move some of your resistance energies, your blockages out of the way. And it makes the remote viewing for you a whole lot easier. And if you want to do that, just visit sallyknott.com and book a session. And then we also have Christina coming up with some exciting new things. So we'll be talking about that in future videos. So please give us a like, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next upload. Thanks for watching.